Yeah, been doing this for 2 years, don't tell me I'm impatient. Compare me to Ross and I'm LeBron of my generation. I'm only second to the MJ of my town. Purple rain weather, I'm the prince of the crown.
Yo, what's good? You already know it's me, your boy Bakerboy, back with another M&O hot topic.
Yep, you already know who I am, man. The greatest rapper under 30 years old. It's your boy, young Cicero. How's everybody doing, man?
What's good? And we back, and Cicero is going to lead us off with this topic.
Yeah, this one's for all the boss ladies out there. This one's it's gonna be an interesting topic. We're gonna have a good debate over this one, or at least a good discussion over this one. And I hope the women pay attention too, because I want to hear what they got to say about it. But basically, it's a question. Basically, just why have women been so mistreated throughout the history of time? Because it's not a secret that women are definitely mistreated and they're not treated fairly. I think that's definitely fair to say. But that kind of makes you ask the question as to why that is the way it is, because this is not a recent thing as women not being treated fairly. This has been going on since the beginning of time.
But what are we referring to when we say being treated fairly?
Not being given the same kind of opportunities. That's slowly changing, but it's still a lot of work to be done. Not the same kind of pay. Women doing stuff and it'll be looked at differently than when a guy will do it. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
We live in 2020, so women get to have entanglements. and us guys, we're not allowed to have entanglements. So I'm just trying to understand, at what point do we get?
Yo, he dropped the song. Did I show you?
Yes.
He dropped the song with Ross, out of all people, bro.
That song was so thirsty, bro, by his part.
Man,
oh my
bro.
God.
That was a good moment, man.
Ross killed it like always.
Ross is the feature
song
king.
Was thirsty, bro.
Ross is the feature king, man.
Man.
But let's get down to it, man. It's You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I need you to go first because I want to know more about what you're pertaining to.
Okay.
When it comes down to this.
So basically, I look at it as like I'm a very close observer. I'm the kind of guy that notices everything, even though I don't always say it, because I'm a watcher. I pay close attention, and I witness and I see a lot of things that women do that a man will do, and a woman won't get the same kind of response. It's usually a more negative response, right? So like a woman will go on IG and she'll twerk her booty or she'll do whatever, and everybody wants to slander her. But then when a guy does it, everybody wants to call the guy good looking. And that's just one kind of example. There's a whole bunch of different examples as to, then you can get even deeper. You can go into stuff like housewives and stuff like that.
Well, let's go step by step. Let's attack that first point there.
Okay.
I agree with you, but the problem is with that is that I think that women are the reason for it, and I'm gonna tell you
the reason for that kind of response. You saying
for that type of response because okay,
talk to me.
When we see a girl on there twerking and doing whatever, which me personally, if you just dancing and having fun, that's one thing. But you girls who just sit there and be pretty much stripping, and just be all assed out.
Yeah, there's levels. There's levels to it for sure.
You just look like a hoe on the ground. I'm sorry, that's what you look like.
Yeah.
And like Cicero just said, yeah, she, girl does that. She looks like a hoe. We start calling her a hoe, this and that. And then when certain dudes, I guess you would say, I don't want to say twerking, but because, if a dude's sitting there doing thirsty stuff or, taking certain pictures, people will look at it a certain way. But at the same time, the same females would actually still flirt and talk with that dude.
Okay.
They'll sit there and entertain that dude. I've seen some of the comments and I'll be like, wow, they actually said that. So if you ever read those comments with those dudes, one thing now, it's one thing that when a girl does something and you got dudes being thirsty in the comments. But if you ever stop and read the female comments when it's a dude, you'll be like, whoa.
Yeah, it definitely does seem a lot more intense than the other way around for sure. Usually a guy, what I've noticed, and there's probably, multiple examples of it, but usually what I usually notice is that a guy will leave like heart eye emojis or like some hearts. But then I noticed that like a girl will start calling him daddy and be like, have my kids and stuff like that.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So when you do that, you cause for that persona, like to make everybody think it's okay.
So let me ask you this then. The women that are leaving those kind of comments or those kind of replies, do you think those are the same women that are turning around and twerking? Or do you think that those are women that actually have like real lives and like go to school and stuff like that? Because then there could be a separation then. You get what I'm saying?
I think it is a separation, but then I think it's a cross between a mixture of those people.
So you think it's both kind of, you think it's just women in general doing that?
I think it's a little bit of both, because in the same comments you'll see a female say, oh my God, what are you doing? Why would you do that? But then you would share it with your homegirls or like it or pass it on.
I hear you.
And I'm like, that's just it's the same thing.
I hear you, because like my thought process on it is like a girl who's in college and goes to school and work a part-time job. I don't think she would look at a guy and leave thirsty comments. She's a kind of mature girl that would look at it and be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Like, stop doing that. You know what I mean? Versus the women that do leave comments like that, those are probably the women that do stuff similar to that. So, you know.
But have the most to say about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, it all depends when you start talking about being treated unfairly. Now, like I said, when it comes to jobs, if we're doing the same job, we should get the same pay. I don't see a problem with that. But a lot of stuff that I feel like women go through is because they put it on themselves. They put these characteristics, these labels, these.
You talking about when it comes? You talking about when it comes to jobs?
No, they're individually their status. Like
their status.
Put pressure on themselves to feel a certain way.
So when they
to have accomplished a certain thing.
I hear you.
They put all this pressure on themselves. So then it's like when they say they get treated unfairly, it's like you guys really get treated unfairly by each other. Because most of the stereotypic topics, or most of the judgmental topics, or most of the topics that hurt you guys' feelings don't come from us dudes. They come from other girls.
So it's like if a girl if a girl is like looking at photos she wants to post. Okay, I think I know what you're saying. So like if a girl's looking at photos she wants to post, right? Like she did a photo shoot or some little thing with her and her friends, right? And she sends it to a guy or a guy friend, and the guy be like, dang, you look bad in all of those, right? But then a girl could look at it and be like, nah, but this one tiny little thing is off. Yeah. But it's like in reality, nobody's going to notice that. The only people that will notice that are other females. I think I hear what you're saying.
Most of the stuff they do is for other females. So then it's like when you say that they get treated unfairly, the only thing that women can say they get treated unfairly by us guys is probably the dating and cheating, and I can't even agree with that 100% because women cheat too.
Women definitely cheat.
It's like what point do women get treated unfairly? I don't know. I don't see it as bad as it was.
So let's get deeper then. So what about when it comes to stuff like jobs and being housewives? Where do you think the maybe, I don't know if sexism is the right word, but where do you think that divide comes from, and women still not be able to get looked at the same way? I feel like that goes super far back, like to like the beginning of time. Because like back in like medieval times and stuff like that, like the women were like basically slaves in many ways. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
but you know, I always wonder, what do people expect when they get in a relationship? If I was to meet a girl right now, and I just met her, and I'm thinking about the future, am I not supposed to think about her cooking, cleaning?
I hear you, but then
she's not supposed to think about me paying bills,
right?
Going to work. Is it just not supposed to happen?
Right.
You know, it's going to be there.
I think, but then I think what the problem is I feel like at least where women feel like the problem is, and I could definitely see why they think that, is that the stereotypes and maybe not even the stereotype, but just the culture that we live in has made people believe that it should always be that way only, and that neither gender should step into each other's roles. So basically today's culture, and culture forever pretty much, has always made it seem like the woman is only supposed to cook and she's only supposed to clean, versus no, she can also go out and get a job and she can also pay bills, and the guy can come home and he can cook and he can clean. And I feel like the divide is you know, maybe not the divide, the culture that we live in today has made it so prevalent that a woman is supposed to do this and a man is supposed to do this, when in reality it doesn't have to be like that.
But I think
that's where women have the problem.
But I'm gonna tell you, and that goes to the idea, because this is why I say women put it on themselves, because they want to look to their homegirls and everybody else like their man is this, and that.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna bring it down to you like this. I've heard women say several times to dudes, or you've seen people complain, or women complain about how dudes always spend time with their homeboys versus spending time with them. Do you know why? It's because so simple conversations with your homeboy
can't have with your female.
You can't have with your female. Something 100%. As simple as going out to eat.
100%.
Something as simple as saying, hey, bro, how much money you got, man? I got 10. All right, I got 5. Let's put it together and let's get something.
Yeah. Girl flip out over that.
You don't have those conversations with your girl. Those are conversations you have with your homeboy. Yeah. So then females be like, oh, you just want to hang with your friends. But no, the reality of it is dudes simplify things.
Yeah.
So females overthink and overcomplicate things. So a simple conversation from, hey, let's just go to eat. Let's go patch up and do this versus who gotta pay. You should pay,
Right.
where the man's supposed to pay.
Yeah.
When you with
That
your
makes sense.
homeboys, you don't have those thoughts, so that's why you have less problems.
That makes sense. A whole bunch of Well,
You know what I mean?
I feel like it's crazy. I was actually talking with my homeboy about this the other day. We was actually just chopping it up, having to talk about it, and basically the conclusion of the conversation was that, and I'm not saying this is true in every scenario, but there are definitely plenty of scenarios where this is true. When women have drama or problems with another female, it's technically over small stuff that don't matter at all.
Yeah.
Versus when a guy has a problem with another guy, it's usually over some shit that matters.
It's some serious, because we usually can squash simple stuff.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, oh, I don't know.
Even to do certain stuff ain't even that big of a deal.
It's not. They be like, hey, yo, you
good.
good. You do something, hey, be like, hey, yo, my fault. Hey, you good, bro. Don't
Slept
trip.
with my girl, you stole my money.
That's like serious stuff.
Serious.
But I mean, like, something small, like,
Oh, she didn't talk to me today. She could be having a bad day.
you know what I'm saying? It's all good. Like, a girl doesn't talk to you. Hey, it's all good. I understand you had a bad day. So hit me up when you're ready. Versus you don't text a girl back within an hour and she flipping out. It's a very, I see what you mean. It's a different thing. A guy will always tell another guy, hey, you good, bro. Don't worry about it. Versus when a girl does it to another female, it's a whole problem. And then when they see each other, they want to pull each other's weave out and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I say women put a lot of this pressure on themselves, because the stuff they worry about, we don't.
So then let me ask you this. The women that don't put this stuff on themselves, where do they lie? The women that actually work hard, the women that go to school, the women that, are not doing shit that other women are doing, that like they're actually on their fucking grind doing their stuff. Where do you think those women fall in all of this?
Well, when you start talking about treated unfairly, I would have to hear from a woman's perspective to really see.
That's fair.
Because
That's fair.
I don't understand at this point.
Mm-hmm.
In the past, yeah, but at this point, I'm talking about 2020 when I make these statements. At this point, the power, the voices that's allowed, the things that you could do to express yourself, I don't see how women still feel that way. And this is in a certain corporate world. But from what I see, women is working everywhere. Women get jobs faster than dudes do, because it's women. I only can talk about what I see. No numbers, no statistics. What I see when I go out, I see more women working than dudes.
I think I see that as well. Yeah.
Overall, and you people could tell me, when you go out, when you go to the grocery store, when you go to a fast food restaurant, Walmart,
a clothing store,
I see more women working than dudes. Period.
But what about
places I go?
But what about big jobs though? Big corporate jobs.
And that's why I said that. That's we're talking about corporations.
Right. Okay.
And when you start talking about corporations, then you got a lot of stuff that goes into play with it. That's a whole other ballgame.
Yeah.
So ladies, let us know how you feel. If you guys feel like you being mistreated or treated unfairly,
and where do you think the middle
relationships,
and everything,
workforce,
where do you think the middle ground needs to be too? Like, where do you think there needs to be the most improvement? Also, I'm curious to hear that.
Definitely. So leave a comment. Let us know what you guys thinking, what you feeling, what you're going through, and we'll get back to you. We'll be back with another M&O hot topic.
When you said that you the GOAT, you was really talking in past tense. Me and Scott dropping racks down to pay our past debts. We are not stopping that till we can say we cash checks. VIPs only, you not important without access.